Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tutoring Hub. My name is Miss Rebecca, and we're going to be breaking down different levels of math skills. Please don't hesitate to leave questions in the comments below. Thank you.
Welcome to Math with Miss Rebecca, and today we're going to get into some order of operations, okay? So first off, have you ever solved a math problem and it's been the same problem as one of your friends, but you both might get different answers? That doesn't necessarily mean cut that out. I'm going to restart in just a second when I clap. Mm. I'm also going to hook up my document camera because I forgot to do that. Welcome back to Math with Miss Rebecca, and we're going to get into some order of operations today. So, have you ever been in a math class and you've been doing a problem at the same time as one of your friends, but you both get the wrong answer or a different answer? Well, that is probably because you were not following the order of operations. Now, if you are like, well, Miss Rebecca, what are the order of operations? Well, that is a very good question. The order of operations are the order in which, in a math problem, we do things from left to right. So we work our way in a math problem from the left to the right. And the order of operations are parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. Now, with that, we always will do the parentheses first and exponents first. But then we do have the multiply, divide, add, and subtract section. Now, this is very important that when you are doing these, you work left to right and you're going to multiply or divide. So whichever one comes first. So if dividing comes first and you're working your problem left to right, then you're going to divide first. But if multiplying comes first, then you're going to multiply. And then the same thing goes for adding and subtracting, left to right. So if your problem is 5 divided by 5 times 1 minus 1 plus 2. So we're working left to right. Okay, let me draw that again so that you can see it. Left to right. Okay, now, so let's just work left to right now. Dividing comes first, so we're going to divide. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Okay, so now we have 1 times 1. Let me rewrite my multiply sign. We have 1 times 1 minus 1 plus 2. Okay, so we're working left to right again. Okay, so 1 times 1, well, that's 1. 1 minus 1 plus 2. Now, 1 minus 1 is 0 plus 2. 0 plus 2 equals 2. So our answer is 2. So remember, the order of operations, parentheses first, then your exponents, then multiply or divide, whichever comes first from left to right, then add and subtract, whichever comes first, left to right, okay? Now, if you're like, well, I don't know how to memorize that, I'm so glad you're thinking along those lines. I'm going to give you an acrostic, okay? So, an acrostic to remember the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, please, that's our parentheses. Excuse, that's going to be our exponents. My, multiply. Dear, divide. Aunt, add, and Sally, subtract. Okay? So, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, you just have to remember that your P is the parentheses, E is exponents, The M is multiply, D divide, A add, and S subtract. Okay. And remember, it's very important that you do not forget that these two, you're doing left to right, multiply and divide, and then add and subtract left to right. Okay. So now let's jump and I'm going to jump to a different slide and we're going to do some examples. Okay. So we have to remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do an example for you. Then we'll do two together, and then I'll let you do one on your own. Okay, so my order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. And remember, the M and D left to right, AS left to right. Okay, add and subtract, multiply, divide. All right, so let's look at our first one. I have 8 squared plus 4 times 3 divided by 4. Now, do I have parentheses? Yes. So my first job is going to be to do the parentheses. So 4 times 3 I know is 12. So I'm going to bring down my 8 squared plus 12 divided by 4. Now I'm going to keep following along. So do I have any exponents in my problem? Yes, I do. I have 8 squared. So that's 8 times 8, which is 64. So now we have 64 plus 12 divided by 4. Now, I don't have any multiplying, but I do have dividing. So let's look at 12 divided by 4. I know that my fact for 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we have 64 plus 3. And now uh, there's nothing else except to add, right? So 64 plus 3 is 67. So I took that step by step. So I did my exponents first. I'm sorry, not my exponents. I did out that last little part, and I'm going to talk about what I just did. Okay. So first, I did my parentheses, right? 4 times 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. Now, after I did that, then I rewrote my problem. So 8 squared plus 12 divided by 4. Then I did my exponent. So 8 to the second power. 8 times 8 is 64. So then we had 64 plus 12 divided by 4. Now I had just adding and dividing, so I have to divide first, looking at my order of operations. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So now 64 plus 3 is 67, and 67 is my answer. Okay, so let's do another one, and we're going to do this one together. Okay, so we have 4 divided by 4 times 3 to the third power plus 2. So if I'm unsure of my order of operations, let's rewrite it. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And then I have to remember that for multiplying, dividing, it's left to right, and adding and subtracting, it's left to right. Okay? So I have 4 divided by 4 times 3 to the third power plus 2. So I don't have any parentheses, right? So I can mark off my P. Now, I see I have an exponent, so 3 to the third power. So my little thought bubble, this is 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 times 3, right? 9 times 3 is 27. So now we're going to rewrite our problem. So 4 divided by 4 times 27 plus 2. Okay, so now I have done my exponents. Now, multiplying and dividing, oh, I have 2, right? But I need to work left to right. So remember, I'm going left to right. for my multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting, okay? So I see dividing comes first. So 4 divided by 4. Well, 4 divided by 4 I know is 1. So now we're going to rewrite the problem. So 1 times 27 plus 2. And now I'm just left to multiplying and adding, okay? So now, what is 1 times 27? 1 times 27 is 27. And now we're left to add 2. So 27 plus 2 equals 29. So my answer is 29. Okay, so we worked our way left to right in our problem following our order of operations. Okay, so now let's do that again. Let's rewrite our order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so now we can just cross them off as we go. Okay, so do I have any parentheses? Yes. So I'm going to start there. 6 plus 2. So what is 6 plus 2? If you said 8, you are correct. So we have 8 times 5 to the second power. So we did our parentheses. Now, do we have any exponents? I see an exponent right here, 5 squared. So this is 5 times 5. What is 5 times 5? If you said 25, you are correct. So I'm going to write 25, and then we're left to just multiply. 8 times 25. Okay? So if you don't know this off the top of your head, like I do, we're just going to work it out. So we can write 25 on top, put our 8 on the bottom. Now, 8 times 5 is what? 40. Very good. 8 times 2, 16. 16 plus 2 is 20. So our answer is 200. Okay. So this one, we only had parentheses, exponents, and then we multiplied, right? And you will not always do every single operation in every single problem, okay? Now I'm going to leave you with one to try, and then I will post the answer. So just pause right here, work it out, and then check your answer with mine. If you got 23, then you are correct following your order of operations. And in this one, you only had to multiply and then add. So once you have the order of operations down, it makes everything lickety split easy, just like that, and you will never go wrong again. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to visit the Tutoring Hub online at thetutoringhub.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any videos. If you have a suggestion for a video, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comments or send us a DM. And we also offer advocacy and tutoring. Thank you.